All right, THL, we're back here on Friday. Probably the first Friday night fights we've had in a little while, so glad we can bring you something to watch before the Christmas holidays kick in. I am not Lotus Knight, but Lotus Knight was supposed to join us tonight, but I think he's feeling a little bit under the weather, so I'm going to be a very paltry addition to casting, but I'm here to have fun. Joining me tonight is Azalea Kari. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing well. Well, that makes two of us for for not the best caster, but it's definitely going to be a fun time.
True.
We do have a very good match coming up, and we're gonna take you through it.
Yeah, so we got a legacy match in Gold Conference, which is going to be the last dance. So we got Brushy Tuna. Yes, that is the Brushy Tuna, the Ron Mexico hater from Last Dance. Sporting an 0-3 season so far, but just getting back into Hearthstone.
Shaking the rust.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going up against the captain of E.T. Cthulhu, which is Eternal. Current record right now is 1-2. Last Dance is up by a game so far, with you getting me with a win over Wax Strats, 3-2. So it makes the team total so far 4-2. So still in the early portion of the week, but at least we get to kick this off tonight. So how about you? If you want to go over some of the classes and what each player is banned, I can let the players know that we're almost ready to go.
Absolutely, I would love to. So, from Mr. Brushy Tuna, we have Druid, Paladin, Priest, and Warrior. From Mr. Eternal, we have Druid, Hunter, Paladin, Priest. Brushy Tuna has banned Eternal's Paladin, Eternal's Priest, and Eternal has banned Brushy Tuna's Paladin. So looks like we've got Druid, Priest, Warrior versus Druid, Hunter, Paladin for our match tonight. This is best of 5 conquest format, so both players must win with all 3 of their decks. If a deck wins, it can no longer be played. And it is flat, so that'll be it.
Yeah. So I wonder who's got the edge in this. Like, after the patch came out, I haven't really been following it as closely because of work and all that jazz. But
yeah, I'm not super familiar. I think for Brushy Tuna, I think the class that could maybe have difficulty is maybe the Warrior. Priest is a very interesting class. Priest has actually a few different decks that you can bring. It has Control Priest. There's the new Naga Priest. There is which got buffed because they buffed Pip the Potent.
Mm-hmm.
But it could also be even like a Shadow Priest, like Shadow Aggro Priest probably isn't too terrible in certain matchups. And on Eternal side, I think his Hunter will be the deck that will have some trouble potentially getting through between the 3 classes. I think Druid is perfect. I think both Druids won't have too terrible of a time. It got a couple of minor adjustments, but I don't think it's going to make it that much worse. But
we shall see.
I'm interested to see how it goes. Looks like both players are picking their opening decks.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see actually what they're going to start with, but it'd be maybe a Druid Mirror to start. Sure, try and see who's going to flex on whom. So go ahead.
Maybe we'll see a Highlander. Maybe we'll see a Highlander version of Druid.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a more preferred version now with some of the dragon nerfs coming in.
Yeah.
Perhaps there's something more leaning that way. Reno Lone Ranger is a very good card, so
that is.
Who knows what we'll see from the players.
So our viewers, we're gonna just told the players to start. So our viewers are gonna see Brushy Tuna at the bottom of the screen for spectate for the lovely casters, and Eternal will be at the top of the screen. So, there's also in certain circles I've been seeing Treant Druid has been pretty OP as well, but we'll see if that got brought tonight. All right, let me see some eyeballs, guys. Let's do this thing. You got big plans for the Christmas holidays? I know you had mentioned earlier. Unfortunately, your grandparents are a little bit.
Yeah, my
on the
grandparents
mend?
are a bit on the mend. Yeah, you could say that. So
Just family
but yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be with my immediate family.
There you go.
And we'll be doing Christmas with my grandparents when they get better.
Yeah, perfect.
Looks like it's a warrior lead for Brushy and a paladin lead from Eternal. You know, I could have guessed I could have potentially guessed the paladin. I think it's still strong after the 2 nerfs. The build is a bit different potentially,
Mm-hmm.
but I like the class nonetheless.
Okay.
So let's see. You got. Oh, I forgot to spectate Eternal myself, so I do not know his cards, and now I do. He has a Sinful Sous Chef, that he can play on 1, but he's going to opt for the Protector. Typically, I would prefer the Sous Chef.
Oh yeah. Why is that?
Here, it's just more stats. I mean, if we're playing the Hand of Vidal, you might as well get the extra 1 damage in.
I suppose.
And Righteous Protector is pretty important as a taunt minion. At least in my opinion. That way you can use it for later times when you need it.
Pressure going for that Blade Storm? Or thinking about it? No more buffs for you, he say.
Yeah,
and just in time.
He dropped the Blade Storm. He's got all the. Brushy has all the clears he needs in the game. So this is going to be a tough position for Eternal to stick any board. And there is Showdown, but there is no Beam in the hand. There's a Keeper Strength. If I'm Brushy, I don't even necessarily feel the need to remove this. I almost potentially want to try and bait more stuff in. Maybe I would just go for like Hero Power and Forging, and forging the other Bellowing Flames potentially here.
And that's what it looks like he's doing. We'll see.
Yeah.
If he makes that decision, because Verse Rift doesn't make much sense right now.
Agreed. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Game delayed for me. I didn't see him press the button. So.
Yeah. So the Jitterbug does make it a little annoying because now once the Divine Shields are popped, it will essentially result in 2 draws.
So Bellowing Flames is not really good here. Oh yeah, it would.
Flames I like this play. I do like this play. It removes removes 1 minion, and Verse Rift now with a Hero Power can remove the 4/1.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is fine. There's no late game draws. There's nothing for late games coming in for this warrior yet, but there's still time. The Craftsman Hammer is good to remove. Is good for removal of minions. It's the Paladin's deck is Paladin's got a lot of I've learned Paladin has a lot of draw, a lot of ways to get stuff out of deck. So Brushy's gonna have to go for really gonna have to work out how he wants to deal with things, and I think that this Trial by Fire is really good.
Yeah, it's gonna handle.
Yeah, it can handle a lot of things here.
I was gonna say his Eternal. Right, he doesn't get his hand filled up, or does he? No. Okay. After this one, he does.
His hand will be full, so he will mill. Prismatic Beam is a very good mill. But there is Double Guardian's Grace in hand, which will be playable soon. I will say that that the 3/1s are going to be a pain potentially
Mm-hmm.
here, just because they remove and they buff. So we are going to see the all right. So all right, keep your strength does just remove this cleanly. So they are taken care of. Rushy does not have any more Blade Storms for the rest of the game either, but I think he got the best use out of them that he could get.
Yeah, and effectively made Eternal, blast some of his early or
Yeah, a lot of
cheaper
his
mana buffs. So
yeah, these are 0 mana Garden's Graces right now.
ooh,
So Rushy, so if he doesn't go and remove this right now, it could be an issue.
another
Yeah.
burned card. That fills Eternal's hand again.
Yep. Okay, so that's gonna be Sanguine Soldier.
Not too bad.
Essentially, the good news is that okay, so he's just gonna go wide and he's gonna buff a couple of. He might go for buffing a couple minions here, as well. Okay.
Ooh,
He's gonna try and make a board that Brushy essentially can't deal with, or at least attempt to make a board that he can't deal with. And these the Divine Shields really are a pain. However, Brushy can take the 6 damage here. Yep, he's only gonna take 2, and then he has the full clear from here. So very well done. Essentially get the full clear. It does burn up his final. It would have to use his Bellowing Flame.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, interesting. He's gonna leave. He's gonna leave that alive.
Yeah,
because he swung.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna take. From here, he takes Bridge Rift. Bridge Rift is an excellent pickup. I'm not sure I like leaving those alive, but I mean the Divine Shields are gone. And there isn't that much extra damage. There's Brushy and he knows about the fact that there's a coin in hand from the beginning of the game, and there is still card from the beginning. Oh no! Oh,
yeah, I was gonna say, don't do that.
Eternal almost killed his put his guy to a 9/1.
Yeah.
Showdown here doesn't do a lot. It puts pressure on the board, but this doesn't do a whole lot because it's just burning a card in hand.
Yeah.
To do essentially the same thing, that have the same board state. So Brushy's in a from here, I think Brushy's in a very solid position. Yep, he's gonna get the Bridge Rift with a thing. He's gonna go for what looks like. Okay, let's see what this is. I don't know if it was a 10 or not.
I think it's a 10. Yeah, just with that 8
you
armor.
take whatever you take. I think that was armor. So he took lifesteal armor.
Yep.
Yeah, that. And at this point, the Bridge Rift here clears up the minion.
Look at Brushy doing math. What's going on?
That's 5 damage. That's 5 damage that can go. That can go face, but I think he's gonna play it safe here.
Yeah.
It sucks to put that damage into a 1/1, but it saves health down the road. Now Living Horizon with such a low amount of space in hand, it's not really gonna be playable.
Mm-hmm.
Deputization, the first deputization aura is done after this turn. So what Brushy can do here is just drop his Odin, if he wants. If he so pleases, he can just play his Odin. But he's gonna go for the rune. He's gonna go for his weapon.
I'm gonna want 2 more heal, so that's or 5. Sorry, plus 8.
Yeah. From here, Odin's a pretty safe slam. Living Horizons are gonna present some challenge, but there is ways to break it. Like he can just use his weapon to slam it, and he has Bellowing Flames. Trial by Fire clears this up. Actually, you know what? I was wrong all along. It's definitely a Yogg take the minion angle.
Let me borrow that for a quick minute.
Oh, for mana.
Ooh.
Right, it means that attacks and it can't die. That's really strong because now Brushy can send that upstairs if he wants. And he gets another 4, and he gets more stuff.
More
This is
armor.
looking very good for the warrior. Paladin can still do some stuff here, but
Does he have
there's
enough
no
1/1s?
I don't. I think all the 1-drops are actually played, or actually
Yeah.
out of deck. Both Sinful Sous Chefs, both Sanguine Soldiers, and both Righteous Protectors played. So
What? Okay.
from here,
Wouldn't
I don't
you?
believe there's a full clear, but I think Odin's real. I think Odin's pretty safe here.
Would you want the Living Horizon on the other side of the minion? Because if they're going to hit,
Yes, you technically would.
okay. Just curious.
Yes.
Just one
Yeah,
of those
no,
things.
you're right. You're right, but Brushy's gonna take the nice safe line
Yep.
here. Can just use the 4/3 to do removal and then go face. It's the same health, but it's very much extra protection. That's a jitterbug, which can be completely ignored.
Yep.
Technically, there's no armor gain. So I wouldn't be surprised here if Brushy goes for a Chorus Rift start on this turn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I should say the Boogie Down is pretty dead here. It's pretty much a dead play here. He can go for the Chorus Rift and see what he draws, and determine from there how to play the turn. Even if it's Finley, sometimes maybe just slamming Finley here could get you the extra armor that you'll need to close this game. Okay, Stone Skin Armorer, that's excellent. He can just Hero Power and draw. If he so chooses. The Trial by Fire line is also good. There's not many losing lines that Brushy can take, in my opinion here. He can draw at the end of the turn as well if he wishes for next turn, so that's good.
So this looks like it's early exit
It's just a matter of time.
Ooh. That's
So
not really going to do much unless they get
the Countess could potentially do stuff. He can now Eternal with the coin can play 2 of his invitations.
Yeah.
And maybe scam his way out of this.
Let's see if a Gigafin comes down. What does
Gigafin be really good? I don't like the prismatic beam. It doesn't do anything but kill Yogg, and Brushy wasn't using Yogg at all, so
okay.
Interesting. He didn't opt to go for the scam. Okay.
So no scam for Eternal.
Yeah, the play there, from what I would just say, is
yeah, just an interesting line, but I mean, maybe at that point Eternal just said, I think if I don't get the Countess there, which they ended up getting at the last end, but maybe it was just too late kind of deal at that point.
Yeah.
So, all right, Brushy with a warrior win. So the Druid and Priest left.
Yeah, so be interested to see what Brushy plays next. It definitely seems like Paladin now at this point can be pretty, even with the tools it has, seems kind of susceptible to control a little bit more now. But I think Paladin still has a good matchup, still should have a good matchup into Druid, and still should, and might be okay into the Priest. I don't really know that matchup super well. And yeah, this looks like a lineup that's trying to beat. This looks like a lineup that's trying to beat up on the Paladin. Because it wasn't banned, so we're gonna see a control Paladin or a control priest
with a
here from Brushy.
Trying to see what HSR says about control.
This should be priest. This should be priest favored. I mean, most of it. This is I'm sorry. Most of what this deck wants to do is just remove minions, and it's good, especially with this clean the scene in hand early. That clean the scene is going to come in big handy. We'll get to eventually find out what's in the ETC. I am surprised that Brushy did not go for for a shard trade. But perhaps this could be. There's nothing telling me that this isn't going to be a Highlander deck as well.
It kind of looks like it.
That's a great draw.
Ooh,
he gets to
keeper.
take a keeper strength.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else really that he would want to take.
Yeah, Showdown doesn't do much. Boogie Down doesn't have that many. If he does have a Highlander situation, then.
Yep. But we do see the other Boogie Down gets played here. It's not a huge deal though. This
Well, we'd have Crimson Cleric.
The Crimson Clergy. That's
Clergy. Sorry, I got Cleric.
Oh, you're good. I mean, Clergy. It's not that much different. We're gonna see. All right, cool. We're gonna see a 3/6 Renethal and a 2/4 Rat, but just gonna opt to take things slow here. And that Clergy, for my estimation, that Clergy, like, probably should be treated as if it has soft taunt,
right?
Because it's just so much draw. This clean the scene. Unfortunately, will not remove the Living Horizon, but it would be pretty good. Otherwise, Yeah, and there's no good way to really deal with much things. The Deputization Aura here as well. That's going to be annoying. Probably just remove... Like, Eternal could just use this to remove the board. I don't know how well that does for him. All right, yeah, that's good. Go face with the second one. I like that. And we're going to coin out... We're going to coin out the other one there. That's a good draw. I really like...
Another Blackwater.
Really like the Behemoth. Clean the Scene does only remove one thing. Actually, two. It removes his own minion. Unfortunately, the 5/1 does not. Fortunately, the 5/1 doesn't exactly do a whole lot here. But just to remove the Divine Shields, this isn't bad. It does pose a threat, and he will just get to do. Will just get to send it to into the 1/1. Yeah, there's 2 more turns of aura from here. But I would say it doesn't matter all too much what the Paladin wants to do here. As soon as the Paladin makes a big enough buff board, we're gonna see Shard of the Naru slammed.
Yeah, that's potentially probably why that Brushy kept it. Yep.
Yeah, we'll see it slammed to remove the stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of trading in everything, absolutely. But it is a bit of a pain, and I don't know what this ETC has in it. This ETC could have a Light It Burns in it, which is what Brushy would want to grab here. And it looks like we're seeing an ETC hover.
It could be Creation Protocol, Light It Burns, and or Sister Sylvana.
Sister Svalna?
Svalna, there you go. Could.
Okay, I don't. Oh, so is this no knowledge?
This is. I'm just looking at Highlander Priest and the probability.
Oh, so. Yeah, if it's Highlander, I mean, nothing tells me it's not.
We'll see in a second.
Nothing's here to tell me it's not.
Hey, look at that! Not even close.
Okay, so we're 1 out of 3. Theatar, Shard. All right, so he just took second Shard. So he just wants to rip the ET. He wants to rip the one from there. Yeah, this is an interesting situation where I feel like he could have maybe spun the hand back, but. I know there's Blackwater Behemoth, but I think if this is Reno deck, he needs to find his Lone Ranger ASAP.
Hi ho silver.
But and these Living Horizons are a very big pain. But we are. I mean, this isn't the worst situation. Brushy's getting super low here though. He has to find something to keep himself alive. There's the Reno. That is the pickup of the century. But unfortunately, so he's just infusing it. The whole board's going to disappear, and he needs to heal himself. Yeah, so he should heal himself for.
There you go.
He should have probably healed himself for 6 instead of healing himself for 2. But I don't really think there is a particular way that the priest can There's no particular way that the priest can kill from here, because none of his other things go face. Which means that Reno is kind of free to come down this turn, and that's more minions into it than he probably. That's more than enough to slam Reno here, in my opinion. We'll see if Brushy agrees.
Could go Blackwater.
The reason I don't necessarily like Blackwater is because if there's Garden's Grace in hand, it's probably 0 cost at this point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I don't want to die to a rebound, and he's gonna opt for that. Maybe he's gonna go for the shard play. Okay, he's gonna take away the Divine Shield and everything.
But that's super risky, for my measure. But I guess we saw 2 Hand of it all, so maybe Brushy. I'm sure Brushy counted to know that he couldn't die, that he couldn't die from this position, and he wants more minions on the board before he decides to go for anything.
What does Twilight Tomb do, or Torrent? Choose it.
Twilight Torrent, it heals if it's friendly, and it deals damage if it's against an enemy.
Gotcha.
And it's getting very, very tense. If we're gonna keep our strength, we need to attack with your 1/1 first. He missed the damage. Could be big. And he doesn't have to trade. He didn't technically have to trade, but it would have been really bad.
Yeah.
Probably would have been pretty bad to not trade it. All right, we're gonna rip this. What
are you afraid of from Brushy's side?
I'm not really at this point. I'm not really afraid of that much.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
but I do like playing the Renathal here. I might have. I mean, I think he's okay with what he has. This was a good turn for him. There isn't a lot that Eternal is gonna have a very hard time from here, like creating opportunities to stick a board.
Did he already burn his last turn? Nope, we got 2 turns left.
So Deputization Ore is done after next turn. That Shadow Word Ruin. Yeah, no, he's gonna Reno. He's gonna Reno this board. He found the Jitterbug, and that should be enough to trigger Reno. Yeah. So from the Paladin's perspective, your way out is now Countess.
And right on cue.
And like clockwork, as I say it, there is the Countess. Brushy will not be able to kill from here, so nope. Honestly, I'm probably playing my Finley, depending if the draw is good enough. If the draw from him isn't that good, okay, we have Topior, Nathanos, and Hedra. The Heretic. So we're gonna take Hedra here.
Identity Theft, that'd be good.
Okay, yeah, ID Theft is a good card, is a good pickup. Let's see what we discover. Discover Cannibalize. Cannibalize is excellent. Identity Theft, he can take this.
Take the invitation.
No, yeah, you do.
Yeah,
because
I'd take it.
I think you can take the invitation. I was thinking you might take the Hedger, but he doesn't have stuff that costs that much. But he knows now that there's Hedra and Beam. Guardian's Grace is gonna cost 10.
What?
Oh, he's played Holy Spells.
Okay.
As priest, yes, he has.
This is interesting. This is making me want to play priest.
Yeah, but,
sorry, Ron.
But I don't know what he's summoning here. Is he summoning any 10 costs?
It's a 4 cost.
It's just the highest cost, right?
Right. Yep.
Okay, for each spell you've cast while holding this. Okay, so he summons. So he just gets that. So what Eternal's going to do is he's going to play everything out here. He's going to play all of his spells, and then he's going to play Hedra. Which is a very good play. A very heads-up play. I don't know if it's going to... I don't know if how the cost is going to be determined. There's a chance that there is 2 8 costs coming down here.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Forgotten?
Yeah, he's gonna take Fellerin. Fellerin's fine. He's gonna play Fellerin and hope to get playable spells. He doesn't get any playable things, and he gets Midnight Wolf on the wrong side. That's not a playable thing. His Hedger is gonna only summon one thing now. So he's only
Ooh.
gonna summon a 0 cost or a 2 cost because he played a 2 cost.
A 2-cost card. Yep.
He played 1 2 costs, so it's any of the random costs that he's done. Takes Noggling with a
Light
Holy
it
Springwater.
burns.
The light it burns. Yep. Okay.
He's gonna kill that.
3 damage to 4/3.
Mm-hmm. Light it burns on Fellerin. Yep. This is good.
Finley
Okay.
his hand.
Yeah, that's fine. Finley's fine here.
Would you guard
you
Grace at all?
Hmm?
The 4/4? But no.
No, I don't think it matters much. Maybe if he could attack, but I kind of like this play. He found his creation protocol.
Yep.
But I think he needs to play he needs to take the extra draw here while he can. It's another one of those cards that kind of has soft taunt because you're kind of looking because Eternal does not want to let him do anything. There is a Metis in hand. A Metis is going to be pretty big. It's going to stick pretty well.
Rin, Hodor.
Hodor.
It's Hodor, man.
Hodor is insane here. Eternal just hit the jackpot essentially because he gets an 8/8 because his thing's going to be an 8/8. His Titan.
There we go.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need to see. Well, unfortunately, he has. Unfortunately, one of his bottom cards is the Shadow Word Ruin, and Ruin would have absolutely destroyed the entire board here. Which you can't know that this is gonna happen.
Right.
So it's never. It's got to be pretty tough to like realize that's the call. Okay.
Cannibalize is good.
Cannibalize is really good.
On the 8/8, obviously, or do you pick the 10/10? Because I think
it has to be on the 8/8. I think because things aren't taking damage. This is a tough call. I think I'd want to psych.
20.
I think I'd want to almost psychonge. Okay, no, he's gonna see what spell he gets. Clean the scene. Oh, that's a good card, but it doesn't really do a whole lot here. Unfortunately, he takes clean the scene, which is fine. It only removes 1 minion currently. But he's gonna go back. He's going back up to pretty high health. Psychonge Showdown. Okay, Showdown is fine. Okay. Smart play. He can remove. He can just remove a couple. He can just remove
take a 5/5 off the board. Yep.
Yeah. The tough part is that this 10/10 it will not die to the clean the scene. But the good news is that Eternal is likely not going to be able to. There's no lethal is actually the
5,
good thing.
10, 20. It's got 23 right now.
23 right now. But these minions all come in and they have so much attack. Yeah. I mean, Countess was really the way out. Was really the scam way out to win, and that's 2 8/8s. That's really really funny how that works.
That's ugly.
This has to be a whirlpool off the top to win.
Well, he's got to clean the scene at 6+ attack, so.
It does. It's only up to 6 though.
Oh right, because it's 8 and 10. That's right.
Okay.
Well.
There is no saving this now.
Mercy.
Yep.
Well, I mean, the Countess did its scam. The scam that could have happened in the first game happened in the second game. That is just sometimes how you play to your every out. And he got the
win.
He got a really good result. So Paladin gets through. So now the priest is left versus Hunter and Druid. Well, there's still Druid and Priest for Brushy at this point.
Let's see.
Yeah,
I could see Brushy come back out with Priest again, but
potentially, yeah. I think it's probably just determined by what classes have the better have the better spread. It might be that it's better to play the druid here. I do think the priest will have it. Will also be able to kind of deal with the warlock. Will be able to deal with the hunter pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm not 100% sure on the matchups. And because hunter does have a few different decks. I am hunter. It kind of surprises me seeing that hunter. Like I didn't think hunter was exactly like the best class. It's kind of middling right now.
It is, yeah. I'm just kind of looking at HSR right now, but it's not really
Highlander. Highlander Hunter is definitely kind of like the best version.
2,600 games, 57% win rate.
Yeah.
Let's see. Priest for Brushy, Hunter for Eternal.
Okay. Yeah.
We are game 3, tied 1-1.
Okay, so this looks like an Arcane Hunter. This just looks like an old Arcane Hunter list. I was running a similar list during one of my matches during one of my hero matches this season.
Mm-hmm. Trying to see what that upside down card that looks like a hyena but I don't think that's what it is. I can't read the card. The second
Farstrider. Oh,
the middle card on Eternals.
Yeah, Silver Moon Farstrider.
Oh, Silver Moon. Okay.
Yeah, so 2 mana 2/3 that buffs.
The graphic itself upside down looks weird, so couldn't place the.
Well, I mean, if there's ever a hand to have Farstrider on 2, this is the hand.
This is it. Yep.
But yeah, Brushy has Thrive in the Shadows here. Ruin, Whirlpool, and Shard. Yep. I think I take Shard here because it's a tradable.
Yep.
Personally, just because you can trade it away if you don't need it. He's not going to need it for a while. This deck, there's a chance that this deck goes pretty wide, but I would say not right away. Typically, it doesn't get going super wide for a little bit until turn 4 if you see Farstrider. But Brushy is really mulling over his decision here. It's good. He has as much time as he needs. And he does take the Shard of the Naru. So we do know that this is 40 card Highlander Priest. We did not see anything in the realm of. We did not see anything in the realm of
What the?
Of Elise?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Use that torrent to remove the 2/3. That works. And meanwhile, on Eternal side, we're probably gonna see something like a couple of things here, and I would like to see the Arcane Shot. Yeah, just send the Arcane Shot to use mana.
Mm-hmm.
Make the priest have to heal. These are so.
Oh.
Okay, Shard King back. Serenity is good. Serenity does just clear the board.
Should be called Boomerang Shard of an Arrow.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that it just went right to the top of the deck. Essentially, it's maybe not the most welcome sight, but it's still fine.
Doing it again. There you go.
Yeah.
Not too good at cards, but do you Finley this?
Yeah, just take the heal.
Nope. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he doesn't draw super well here, I think I would just play Finley. The hand's not too great.
No, I was just saying. It's just.
Yeah, I do think he should want to see one more draw potentially. I probably would have Finleyed the hand away, but I don't. But I also think it's fine to hold here.
All right. So what's Eternal
Psychic Conj. All right, we rip the Conj. Conj gives us a weapon, a Starstrong Bow. That's not going to be super useful for him. So I honestly probably would just spin the hand away, but he might go for the full heal. It's not gonna give him any discover, but it's still fine. Procs Hidden Meaning for a 2/5.
All right, at the end of your turn, get a Chaotic Tendril. Okay, so
that'll create some spice to the game.
I guess it will. Let's see.
Good news is that there is a Cannibalize to make sure that it doesn't really do a whole lot. Priest at this point just needs to keep their health high. They're going to take a lot of damage over the next X amount of turns. But Cannibalize is really good. That is also a very excellent pickup.
Cannibalize.
Yeah, so now you just Astalor, and this Priest is well on its way to starting to
recover.
Yeah, it's gonna get on its way to being able to take some control during the game. The Titan, the trap's gonna come in here. Like
Titan Forge
essentially,
traps.
Astalor is it will be able to give some good answers to things.
Wandering.
Motion
okay, that was
Cat trick.
not motion denied.
Yeah,
It's
Wandering
Monster and Cat Trick. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, Cat Trick is usually a good pick against Priest. It typically plays a lot of spells. Conjured Arrow, gonna draw last. Not the end of the world. That's
good.
That's a lot of good cards. Let's see what Chaotic Tendril casts. It casts Forest Seedling. So just a couple of extra 1/1s. Benevolent Banker is quite good here. You can play that and see what he gets. I probably would take the I probably would have taken the Secret.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Actually, I think it's more playable in that case. But he doesn't know that this isn't hidden meaning though. Because he's gonna learn it isn't, but technically he did not even really attempt to play around that. But looks like Eternal could go pretty. Eternal can get kind of wide here with a couple of 4/4s to help remove the board.
Get rid of the Astalor and.
Yeah, it's just you can remove both technically. It would leave little vulnerability to like a Holy Nova. Okay, never mind. The ricochet shots do 5 damage apiece. Let's see.
Chip damage from Eternal is getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there, but I still. Okay, I'm not so sure I like this specific line, but the Cat Trick does come out, which it does work well for brushing. Now he can just remove the board.
Yeah.
With I was gonna say as long as he, essentially as long as he tested for, there's not much damage threat left. I think that's both ricochets in one thing. Yeah. I guess he's gonna go for the protocol potentially next turn, forging it.
Yep.
I might have personally forged instead of
give you a chance
because I've seen so much damage from my opponent that I'm not super concerned about it. But probably let's see what
again?
The Hunter does. The Hunter could, if the Hunter doesn't really put a lot up, we can definitely just see. Like you can just technically even rip Astalor here. It wouldn't be the end of the world. Could see something like
the weapon.
Jeez.
But there's a lot coming in.
Little Christmas tree.
It's a Christmas tree, but yeah, okay, I don't mind just ripping it. Unfortunately, I don't think he hit what he was looking for. But there's okay, I guess Astalor's fine here. Yeah, it should remove the full board. It's very interesting. He's playing Priest, but I have no time to talk about his plays.
Because Brushy just plays. He just rips it. He sees the card. I like that one. That fits this one. Rip.
Yeah, because I was going to potentially look at something like Dirty Rat.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's big enough, you can Light Bomb, and you have other plays otherwise. But I kind of think now is kind of the time that you have to go for something like Finley. If Eternal does just rip his entire hand, then there's just a light bomb. But it looks like we're gonna get a little bit of spacing out of threats here. There's the There's the punish. There's the Reno. Okay. I would say I'm not the biggest fan of that line, but because there's nothing, he has 2 cards in hand, and Reno is perfectly 8 mana.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly. I wouldn't say it exactly loses or throws anything within the game, but it's a pretty. To me, I think it was a missed opportunity to hold something that can just clear kind of later potentially. Yeah. Meanwhile, Eternal's just gonna send every damage he has, kind of. He's gonna send all his damage face here. Love Everlasting is an excellent pickup, but I think here just going up to okay. Yep, I'm just gonna use the light it burns, and
Yep.
I think he can just. All right, he's just gonna go. He's gonna go for the weapon here.
Yeah, see that. No.
No, he's not. Okay. So he must. So he knows that this is Wandering Monster, and I think he knows the other thing. I think he knows the other thing is exactly. I think he knows the 2 remaining things. Which doesn't necessarily bode well. Ooh, interesting.
What?
Well, he kind of got punished.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of at 1. He has to heal. Like, he has to heal. He might have to play the Love Everlasting here. I know there's nothing on board, but I think sometimes Reno is just gain 5 armor.
Yeah.
And it's also a really good. I know that like you're changing off of your healing hero power.
Well,
I think at this point he kind of has to. Like, he's going down to 3 damage. Luckily the bow's gone, and he should know the only card in hand is the only 2 cards are a spell and whatever.
Yep.
Okay, well now you got to rip the behemoth because it's really good.
The behemoth.
Yeah. Blackwater comes out. It'll make sure there's nothing else to be healed. Star Power is a very good pickup.
Yep.
It does clear. Yeah. It's funny. I think for the position this hand is in, I'm not sure what I would want to see played. I want something. I kind of want to I kind of want to go like play Cathedral and play Spindly and then draw.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I mean, as long as we're drawing off of this, we're good. And as long as we're healing 2 every turn to shake off the hero power, we're good. The Kraken is going to take a very long time to come online. Yep. There will be enough time for Brushy to take damage. He's going to trigger some things here, very likely, with attack, but it shouldn't be that bad. Amenthul is a great pickup. Trigger the monster.
The monster's guns. Oh, what's that?
It's an Aeroponics. So it'll summon a couple of 2/2s. Oh, summon an extra 2/2. And then I think you can easily just play Amenthul plus Deafen here. You can Amenthul and get a Taunt Lifesteal minion.
And then heal yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. Frey is fine.
Duplicate your hands.
I do like he's playing around Hidden Meaning by not deafening.
Frost Whisper is a potential threat
Bone
here.
Lord? Oh,
hey,
Bone Lord's really... No, Bone Lord works really well for Brushy. It gives him 0 mana cards. And
okay.
Regardless from here, this is when regardless from here, he should slam the Reno, and he doesn't have to do any healing here. He can just play Reno. He can like summon a copy of like Ignis or something. He can draw as first as well if he wishes. He has 9 cards. There's a wealth of possibilities. I feel like as long as he's playing Reno to wipe this board, he's good.
Just on request.
Yep. So yeah, he's gonna heal a bunch here by attacking face. He will trigger Hidden Meaning, but that means that Eternal can't trigger anything else.
Yeah,
Yep.
nothing
Gotta
else can be
get-
played because there'd be a
Yeah.
minion in
So
the
there'll be a
place.
minion in play. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
going to do that. Very smart, very smart. Let's see what he gets.
Oh, that's
Darkon Drathyr. You don't Darkon Drathyr. You absolutely do not care
Oh,
what comes out from this hunter. This hunter is dead on my screen as far as I am concerned. He can kill off the 4/3, and then he can play the Agrimar.
then the weapon. And
But
then,
the only thing he can do is make the weapon so he doesn't die, and then he'll
Yep.
so that it doesn't take damage. He can do. I mean, he can just swing into it if he wants and lose the game on the spot. It's just he's gonna make the right play. He's gonna go for the kill on it, but there's nothing that can really be done here because there is lethal damage on board.
Yep.
So Brushy takes game 3 with the priest. A little bit of rocky play here and there, but I mean, control priest is a bit of a difficult deck to play in my opinion. And Brushy.
I'm sure Ron coached him well through
Brushy
Priest.
Brushy went as far on the brink of losing as you can get with Priest, and still got the win. It's very. I'd be very nervous from that position. As Brushy.
You taught him well, Ron. You taught him well. You taught him how to use Priest.
Surely.
Anybody that doesn't know Ron hates Priest with a passion. So
I do think that Ron could definitely coach how to play it, the deck. He doesn't play it himself.
It's called bottom right, is what he would say.
But Ron is a good enough player.
Yes.
Where he can teach, where he could help with that. And there's other players on the team that can as well. Neji Boston's a good control priest player.
Yeah.
As well.
Neji can work it out. Who else is on the team?
All right, so this is Treant Druid.
Yeah.
This is the Treant Druid deck. I have loved this playing that deck on ladder. Infernal is playing aggro. Is playing the aggro version, and Brushy Tuna is playing the version of the deck that runs dragons and stuff. This opening is super strong for
Eternal.
For Eternal, he has both of his things. He has both of his buffers in hand with Nature Spell played.
Yeah.
So he's going to. So Brushy's probably gonna have to find his way out with some really good play. He's gonna have to find pretty much exact answers from here because this board's gonna get buffed again next turn by the other Herald of Nature, which he doesn't know about. Now Brushy does not know this.
No.
So what Brushy doesn't realize that he's actually just dead.
So.
He's actually just dead because they're that bust by 2. No, only bust by 1 attack. My apologies. He is not dead. He's close.
He's gonna want to be dead. Because there's really he's got no reaction, nothing to retort to this board.
I mean, he really, technically he probably needed to get some nature spells.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's just perfect draw completely from the start of the game.
Yep.
It happens. It's a full non-game. Brushy just has to put that out of his brain. And he's going to have to play Druid versus Hunter for the final game. And I would guess that this Druid, because it's so, because of how it's strong it is and everything, that from what I know is that it's I think it's going to be a good situation for
So what game is this?
This is game 5.
You are correct.
We have Brushy Tuna on the Druid and Eternal on the Hunter. I hope Brushy is proud of me.
Yeah, I think he'd be happy as soon as he runs this, watches this VOD. He'd be very happy with your attempt of getting the gravelly excitement, boxing broadcaster or announcer voice on. So
nice.
All right.
All right. Well, Splish Splash Whelp in the opening hand. That's a good sign for Brushy. On the other side, Costume Singer in hand is a good keep. I would probably chuck the rest. He chucks everything. Costume Singer seems like a really good card to have, in my opinion. But maybe does he get the hidden meaning in hand? Gonna be able to play Trinket Tracker on one.
I was just trying to figure out what deck Brushy has. It's a Nature Druid. Is that what it's called?
This is Treant Druid.
Treant.
It's technically called Treant. It's like a hybrid it's kind of a hybrid. It's got a lot of nature spells, but essentially you play you run 4 dragons, two Splish Splash Whelps, Topior, and Phi.
Okay.
So you essentially get to run with that stuff. I think here I'm no, because you can't find the dragon to play. I guess you could. He probably could have aquatic formed and looked for another dragon. Yeah. So he's gonna know that this is hidden, or he's gonna know it's hidden meaning because I believe he played a spell.
Yep.
And nothing triggered. So he knows it's hidden meaning.
Now he's gonna know more things.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of actually coining out. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of actually coining the traps, but it's an okay play. Especially with Trinket Tracker in hand, I might have wanted to see what I drew first, to see what I wanted to do. But I guess if he's that committed to playing it, then you just kind of go for it.
Yep.
Aquatic is great here. Finds Soul of the Forest. Cactus. Ooh, yeah, Cactus Construct is really good. I like it a lot.
Let's see.
If I'm Brushy, I might test Explosive first before I play Cactus Construct. All right, he's gonna go get his 2 random nature spells, Living Roots and Cactus Construct.
Not gonna Finley now, is he?
Okay, well, so I think if he's gonna Finley, he wants to check for he's gonna want to check for Explosive Trap, which it is. But now with a 3-mana Treant in hand and all this stuff, I think Finley's great here. Yeah, because he can find like Take to the Skies, which will draw back stuff. He can find any number of good cards.
Let's see what he picks up. Splish Splash Whelp.
Okay, cool. This is pretty good.
You can Innervate.
These are pretty good cards.
No. Oh
no, because there's no other dragon. So
right.
He'll play Take to the Skies and Whelp next turn, very likely. That's a good turn. It would give him Topior. Almost guaranteed. That's not quite guaranteed. If he drew Phi, he would get Topior for guarantee. But he doesn't have that much mana right now. But regardless, he's gonna be able to play stuff. But Eternal is really going all in on these secrets and not really. I'd say it's not necessarily doing all that much in terms of like long-term pressure. But it does make Brushy have to think about his plays. I don't really think there's you could technically play around hidden meaning and play your innervates, but I think you don't really care too much. I think next turn you're like Topior, innervate plus
Planted and see what you get.
Yeah.
Type of stuff. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's a lot of things. That's a lot of discounts. A slight what could have been a slight misordering of not looking for a 1-cost damage spell before playing your Farstrider. Fortunately does not get punished for it at all. Topior is fantastic here. Let's see what he's gonna take it. Okay, he's gonna test for trap. There is a trap. So okay.
Here comes some Treants.
Let's see how he plays this. Okay, he does play it like this. I like Witchwood Apple. Oh, Natural Causes as well. Natural Causes is actually better, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we're just going all in here. Aquatic to see maybe we can find a one mana. Living Roots. Living Roots is really good here as well. anything to make the Myrmidon trade essentially easier to make. Technically the treant is also a pick. He takes the so he's gonna store that for next turn. I respect it. Everything on board gets removed, and hidden meeting doesn't get triggered.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. Let's see how much damage. So this is 5. All right, this is a lot of damage coming in over the next couple of turns. So it's 5 damage. It's 4, and then this gets buffed by 2, so it's 15. 15. All right, it's getting there. It's gonna get close to lethal here.
So,
But
yep.
Brushy Tuna. But unfortunate. Is there lethal back? Is there cultivation lethal? We're drawing miracle growth, but that doesn't protect against over the top damage.
I think.
I don't think it's. I think it's like 2 or 3 turn lethal. I don't think it's gonna happen very easily. Okay. Well, Eternal has opted to not send the damage face. He's opting to save his own face. He's can't quite remove the Topior, so that should go. That should technically probably have gone face.
Yeah, he has to handle the board. That's for sure. So.
Yeah, for sure. 14 plus 8, 22.
That's gonna be pretty.
So if I'm brushy here, I think I'm ripping cultivation and I'm hero powering, and I'm clearing the minion with my face, and I'm sending him to 4. But he's gonna opt to go for the miracle growth play here. It looks like, which is absolutely fine.
Ooh.
There's 5. 5 is costing 2.
Hidden meaning comes out. Ooh, what's that?
Piranha Poacher. That summon a 1/1 piranha.
And doesn't do much in this case.
That will put a piranha in the hand. That does not do a lot indeed. You are correct. Ricochet shot. Can it find the Topior?
It does.
Can. That's a bit unlucky, but I don't think it matters that much. The 8/8 can't be removed from the board. But I'm not sure that it actually creates any lethal scenario.
5.
But it's gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think Eternal just needs to create. He's just gonna remove enough to not die on board. He's gonna learn that there's a cultivation in hand, and looks like Brushy Tuna is gonna get his first win of the season. As long as he can spot the lethal, that Solar Eclipse sure as heck should spot the lethal. But he's just gonna play straight. He's not going to play the top deck.
He's just ripping it.
He's gonna
and that's it.
He's gonna play the cultivation, and there's gonna be the concede from Eternal. Very close series. I don't know how much damage calculation was done with the celestial shot. Obviously fearing for your life with damage, like it's tough to make a call to not like try and set up some form of damage with sending maybe this just trying to do some form of damage mitigation while trying to set up lethal. I'm not sure if it would have actually worked either, personally. Yeah. But yeah, good win by Brushy. It was a well-played match kind of for both players. And I felt like, it really was fun to watch. Absolutely.
It was. So I'm just asking to see if Uncle Brushy or Uncle Tuna is trying to get his microphone situation fixed up. So once that happens, yeah, I don't think there's anything going on this weekend. I was going to mention something, but we don't have any matches lined up, and obviously with Christmas Eve, there's no time on Sunday coming up. But Saturday we don't have anything lined up either. But I will keep an eyeball on Trios. If anybody in Trios has a Saturday night match, I will entertain that that thought. So.
Yeah, my match already happened.
Slip into my DMs if you wish to have your Trios match on Saturday night between 8:30 or 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, come on, Brushy. You got where's the interview at? Look at this guy, this noob.
Okay.
Now, anybody with microphone or headsets that pick up sound really well, you're gonna have to watch out for Brushy's voice. He's very, very. Hey, Brushy, how are you?
Uncle Tuna.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, my guy.
We missed you.
How y'all doing?
Doing great.
Better
doing
now
great.
that you're here.
Right? I missed you, Joe.
Yeah,
Dang army
man, I
sending
miss
me to
you.
Poland.
Yeah.
So congratulations on your win tonight. Took it to Game 5
Thank
like you
you.
always wanted.
Oh
Game
my!
5
I got
madness.
blown.
That
I
game
mean, yeah,
4
I
was
love Game 5,
the
but
non-game happened. The obligatory non-game in this meta happened.
yeah. The turn 4, I'm just taking 58 damage. Like,
Yeah.
NBD, right?
I was so scared. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
I
big deal.
mean, it was. Well,
Luckily,
that's
Hunter is not in the greatest place right now, so maybe feel
yeah,
good going into Game 5.
for sure.
So you're gonna have to tell
Mhm.
us. You're gonna have to tell us something, buddy. You're gonna
What's
have
that?
to. You're gonna have to tell us how much Ron Mexico coached you through Priest.
Oh, not at all. But Ron and I think Ron and I played 20 games of that Druid today
Yeah.
to make sure I felt good on it. So
Hmm.
he coached me through that one. He did not help
Yeah,
me. Well,
Druid.
he
Yeah,
helped me with my
Druid is.
APC increase.
Yeah, Azure deck is super fun.
Yeah, it's the mulligans and like the early games kind of interesting. Like
Hmm.
that turn, I did all that stuff to Finley to try to ensure I found Topier.
Yeah,
You know,
was that
because if
smart?
this deck doesn't find Topier, oh
It is.
man,
It
you
is
just
bad. Yeah.
it's GG.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
like
Yep.
game 4, the Druid versus Druid. Just
Yeah.
nothing happens for you.
Just
Hmm.
melting. Yep.
Yeah. That's the one bad part about that Druid, though, of what I've noticed is sometimes you just get run over.
Yeah. I My experience has been that there's not that much run over decks. Like there's
I mean,
Paladin,
like,
but
Paladin
Paladin.
can do it. The
Yeah.
Treant Druid can do it. And, and then certain draws from, like, Enrage Warrior can do it
Oh
theoretically, depending
yeah,
on
yeah,
how.
you're right. I forgot about your Rage Warrior, but
Yeah.
yeah, but like a lot of the Death Knight and
Oh,
Control
yeah,
Warrior and
definitely.
stuff like you have all the time. Like the only thing scary about
Yeah.
Control Warrior is that it can just run you out of your resources.
No,
Um,
you just got to set up a nice, like, Soul of the Forest board. Because,
yeah,
like,
you're
they're
right.
going to clear the first half, and you're just going to have to hope that they can't clear the second half, and
Yep.
then from there, you just, like, Solar Eclipse, Cultivate, and just dome them for, like, 40.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God I drew that Spish Splash Swap off that
Yeah.
Finley. I'm watching the replay right now. You know
Yeah.
how many times I cast the Take to the Skies, and I'll draw, like, double Splish Splash and no Topier, and I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah. Well, you had the Topior, so it was more potentially that you drew Phi instead of the Topior, but it worked
Yeah,
out. It worked out. You like even if that board was somehow dealt with enough, you still had the Phi to keep yourself super healthy, and
yep.
you had so much resources to like take over the game,
Can just reload again.
to reload, keep the game in your favor, and I mean it was like from my perspective it was pretty well played. Obviously, like I think Priest has like so many tough decisions to make that like
Yeah.
it's sometimes tough to make like the correct decisions every single time.
Yeah.
Um,
You like the
but
9 turns where I didn't play Reno and just kept Hero Power?
Yeah. It
yeah,
worked.
I mean, I mean, it was
I was like, I'm
smart.
never playing
I
this
mean,
Reno.
it was technically smart because you're just shrugging off the hero power every turn, and
Yeah.
it finally gave you a Reno board. Finally gave you a board to Reno after you made the
Yep.
most of it. Plus, like you technically denied any initial like card play with triggering the hidden meaning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how's it feel?
First win back.
Yeah, I was gonna say your first win. And how's it feel to be back in the THL for a quick minute?
Week 1 versus Dragon Rider, she kind of ran me over, but it was kind of expected. I didn't really practice before then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you who did give me like a culture shock back into Hearthstone. It was Risen week 2.
Yeah.
He high rolled me so hard that entire series.
I love
Yeah.
Risen.
Like
Yep.
halfway, like after game 2 or game 3, he sends me a message and he goes, "Holy crap, I'm high rolling you so hard," and I was like, "I know."
Yeah.
You just sit back
I was
and you
like, "Please
watch. That's
stop,
all.
man."
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
So, hey, bro.
But no,
Good.
it feels good to be back. You know, I've missed this. I missed all the group. Missed messing with Ron and Saku.
Yep.
You know, so
Yeah. For sure,
and
man.
Azalea, you know, holding it down on the casting. You
Yeah.
catch a stream every once in a while.
Yep.
For
Go
sure, yeah.
go this night feeling ill tonight, so we couldn't make it. But
Yeah.
that's, hopefully he feels better.
Lotus was supposed to, but wasn't feeling great, unfortunately.
Stuff. Look at Brushy subscribing here. It's been 12 months, man. 12 months in a row.
I just looked at the chat and was like, "Oh, I have a 12-month badge."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
man.
any final words before we let you go for basically for the weekend if you're.
You know, don't listen to Ron. Priest is pretty okay. I mean, Naga Priest just won World, so don't listen to that man. Priest is pretty good.
Well, that's why I wanted to see if Ron had coached it or who was more of the influence of making you
It was
choose Priest.
Control Priest. There's no way that Ron was.
Yeah. Ron hates it.
Was that. Yeah, I don't know if that'd be his first deck to teach Brushy for sure.
If there was
Probably the last deck.
If there was a class that was a bathroom, that would be Priest. Yes.
All right. Well.
All right.
Your team is sitting with 2 match wins on the week, so looking great for your team. Y'all are already in first place in the conference.
Yep.
Putting in that work.
Yeah, we gotta ride it out. It's the last dance, you know.
The last dance,
gotta win it all.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, congrats again there, Brushy. Great to have you on stream again, and congrats to your good luck to the rest of your team and ET's team or ET Cthulhu's on the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You got it.
Love y'all. Love all THL. See you later.
Yeah.
Peace.
See ya.
Or is it see ya? Oh yeah, with the thumbs up. I can't. We got no cameras, dude. We got no cameras with the big thumbs up.
I did it.
Don't
worry, I did it.
Thumbs up, so
I did it.
Too funny.
Oh man.
All right. Well, any final words before we splinter off into our holiday festivities?
I guess. Well, obviously, thank you to the players for coming on and playing. Thank you to you, Mr. Saku, for opping. Thank you. Thank you for another great year for another good THL year. We're going into 2024 soon, and be safe, everyone. Have a great holiday season, and we'll see you all in the new year with more content.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think there's after this week there's going to be a quick break in between the Christmas holidays, obviously, and then I think the season gets started back up again. Now I have to double check that. So I might be speaking.
Next week is 2 weeks to play.
Right. So we got to the 5th of January to
Yep.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Well, Saku says, happy holidays to everybody. Happy holidays to you, Azalea, and your family.
Thank you.
And we will be back soon. Take care, everybody.
Take care.